Good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
Hola, Nencita. Hola, Jessie.
Buenos días.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, welcome to the session number 7. Today I want to ask somebody, I don't know, perhaps Jessie or Dunen, if you want to open the session with an invocation, a poem, some comments. Perhaps it is okay for you or somebody else. Si no te animas a leer uno de tus poemas o a hacernos alguna
Would you write a poem, read of your poem, Jesse, or do an initial invocation for this session?
Bueno. Mm, Bueno. I will to share the screen. Mm, 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 mm. Can you see the screen?
Sí.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is the session number 7. Today, I think it's a good opportunity to think about the intersection between the issues under debate in between environmental justice and violence against Indigenous women. This is our challenge today, no? Because during the last decades, the legal perspective and the political international perspective have been established a little sort of separation, no? Between environmental justice and sexual and reproductive justice, no? And actually, we are talking about environmental and reproductive justice, no? And in this sense, I want to propose today can establish a dialogue between this perspective, because in everyday life of communities, and specifically in everyday life of Indigenous women, communities and experiences, this approach of body, land, and territory is the intersection between something thinking as a continuum, no, not as a division or differentiation. Okay. Well, today our objective is to identify the cycles of this intersection with some examples and case studies, and of course, with your individual projects. Okay, we are going to develop and to visit some concepts as decolonization, in social, spiritual, and psychological dimension, social mobilization at the national, local, and international and global level, how some projects and Indigenous women researchers are talking about healing in a physical, psychological, spiritual, social, and collective perspective, and in a participatory perspective in research. And finally, we will talking too about the guarantees and security of intercultural researchers and participants in intercultural research. First of all, I want to propose this activity to understand, for example, how the NGO Demos in Peru, in the international legal strategic litigation, in the case of Manta and Bilka, have used, for example, arts and artistic advocacy and ethno-advocacy, no? To protect at the same time and to defend at the same time the gender and ethnicity perspective, and at the same time the perspective of the defense of territory and land. Okay. In this case, as I emphasized, I think the last or before the last session, this is a specific context because this strategic advocacy case have been elaborated in a transitional justice context, no? And in this case, 15 elders from Aymara people have been thinking about how we can restore, how we can repair, at the same time, the harms against Indigenous women and their bodies, and the harms against the territory, okay? And other of the question interesting here is the place, the role of customary law to establish harm and to defend the rights of individuals and communities and territories. I am thinking, for example, this kind of perspective should be interesting for Mimint and her question about how customary law could reproduce inequalities and injustice in her community, for example, no? Or I am thinking about the case of Anaya and Nukila in terms of the role of customary law inside her communities and political processes, okay? In this sense, one of the most interesting questions and I think contribution of this reflection is the question about the risk of the legitimation of gender violence in the name of the tradition, okay? And in this sense, I want to propose in the second part of the session an exercise because sometimes the general political agenda and legal possibilities of environmental justice are in contradiction with sexual and reproductive justice, no? And at the same time, sexual and reproductive justice doesn't take doesn't point out the question of collective rights and specifically the reflection of non-human actors as territories are sacred sites, and specifically the female knowledge of Indigenous women in their peoples, okay? In this sense, I think your projects should be an interesting contribution to decolonize environmental justice and to decolonize social, sexual and reproductive justice, okay? But I think the challenge is so amazing and at the same time and scary challenges, because we need to think how I am reproducing in my project one of this perspective, no? And how can I deal with the risk to legitimizing gender violence in, for example, only a environmental perspective, or reproducing, for example, only a gender discussion, okay? In this sense, for example, the elders from Manta and Vilca case in the region of Ayacucho propose this artistic and cultural work named Rosa Cuchillos. This is an theater work as an expression of this tension, okay? And to express their needs for healing their spirituality after the enormous trauma of sexual violence, sexual slavery, and domestic abuse, and at the same time to speak about the unspeakable in Peru, okay? In this sense, I want to propose for the second part of this section this question about the continuum of the different kinds of violence, no? Ecological violence, spiritual violence, violence against the territory and lands. And at the same time, we can separate the violence against individual bodies, communities of Indigenous women, the community as a collective people. But it's easy to place the tension, but it's not easy to answer the big challenge, to emphasize at the same time the both dimensions and needs, okay? I don't know, because I can see everybody. If you have a question, please please go on. A question, a comment, okay? Well, I want perhaps to hear some of your reactions or comments, because as we can see, we have in the group one section of the group are working about environmental justice, and another section of the groups have been working about sexual and reproductive justice, okay? And I want to explore with the group in this big meeting, how do you think you can incorporate an intersectional perspective? Because it's not easy, no? For example, I am thinking about Nukila. You are talking about a big challenge, no? Access to land. And I am thinking, how do you can involve the specific impacts and the specific needs in the case of Indigenous women? And if you are feeling, for example, free to talk about at the same time of sexual and reproductive justice, or is not possible, because sometimes, as you said in the last exercise, no, for example, your group were talking about the taboos and the importance to respect these taboos and the silences, no, but at the same time, as a researcher, I have this personal question, no? When and where the taboo is the possibility to legitimate sexual and reproductive justice, okay? How do you deal with this tension and this possibility at the same time, no? Because sometimes tensions, crises in academic work and in research is something interesting, no? It's not a problem. We are talking about tensions, we are talking about crisis, and it's our role at the same time, no? To understand how this tension, how this taboo is working. I don't know, for example, in your case, Nukila, and perhaps somebody else could share with the group, no, the difficulties to work these issues in a intersectional perspective.
Thank you, Angela, if you can hear my voice. Okay. Yeah. Regarding the taboos that you have mentioned in the last sessions, I think the approach that we are going to say with the woman is to figure out and then figure out what they, what the certain taboos that are still adopted in this by them, and then in the right time. I think this is about to finding the right time to speak with the woman, because yeah, we just want because it's not easy. I don't know, in Asia. In Asia, talking about sexuality is not common. The girls will shy to talk about menstruation when they got the menstruation the first time. What years? They don't use the good sanitation, hygiene pads for their something like that, yeah, or how to approach the boy or something like that. So I think this part of the taboos that because I learned a lot from Latin America and Africa, and I love to hear from this course that I think is, I don't know about the culture, because we've been our countries, most of our country colonized by the Western people, right? And then it makes and back on the colonialist time, we are afraid to tell about our sexuality, to talk with our mother even, about our body. And while we see at the time, I can imagine at the time my grandmother see the openness of the West people. So this make I think this should be reflected by, it created the gaps, created the gaps in terms of talking about sexuality, the taboos created. Also, this is our protection as well. Taboo is about protection, to protect our identity, to protect the something like sacred in our community. Something I just want to say about that. But it can be revealed, but maybe on the right time, to reveal and talk to the women in the comfortable way, because I think it's not easy as well. Yeah, with so many background, so many history, so many stories that we want to talk with them, to the woman. I think I want to share that one, Angela. I think one my friend from Asia.
Okay, thank you, Nukila. And it's so important, no, as you said, to understand, no, the cultural sensitivity, and to think about, for example, I don't know, do you think it's possible, for example, to think about metaphors or an indirect or non-explicit or, for example, non-verbal methodologies, no? Because, for example, using the as you said in your presentation, no, using other kinds of languages, no, not, for example, non-verbal methodologies, or do you think it is possible?
Yeah, I think it's possible, but I think the methodology that we are going to use, I would like to use like a symbol, like feminine things, masculine things. So, like when mentioning about vagina, for instance, maybe I will use I don't know, the things, things like a feminine things, something like that. I would like to approach Angela. Uh, yeah. Even they don't want to talk about the breast, the vagina, or something like that. But I would like to see, to show them about the feminine, like a stuff, feminine things, how to approach with the women. I think my groups has because last session we didn't really reveal about the in cultural approach, Angela. Maybe my friends will, Florence or Naima, will share about the because you asked our Asia group to be more in-depth approach related with our research, right? We are already, I think we have already the PPT now. If you let us to have
Perfect.
the opportunity.
Perfect. Can you share the PPT? It is possible?
Naina, do you have with you? I need to or Florence? Can somebody help me? Florence or Naina?
Yes. Yes, Nukila.
Yeah, can you please share the PPT of our group? Or Florence?
I'm sorry, my signal isn't so good. It
Oh,
drops.
okay. Okay, maybe
Yeah.
Naina, because I want to transfer this one. And also I would like to share. Naina, can you do that for us?
Oh, but Nukila, which presentation? I'm a little confused. But I just joined the class, so I'm a little confused.
In the PPT, intercultural approach from Asia. In our PPT, in the groups, Asia group. Can you see it?
Let me check.
Or let me check as well for myself. Okay. Sorry, taking so thing. Is Ananya here? Mimin? Well, I'm trying to find the from my email. Sorry. All right. Okay, I think got it. Mimin here? Can you find it? Naina, can you find it?
Yeah, I'm just searching.
Wait a minute.
Nukila, is this in our WhatsApp conversation?
Yeah.
But, let me share the screen and then yeah, let me share the screen, okay?
Because I couldn't. Yes. Okay. Can you share it? Where is it?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Can I play this?
Yeah, but not
What?
not our conversation. The PPT. The PPT. Can you share the PPT?
Okay,
Up.
yeah,
Yes, on this one. Yeah.
this one.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, finally I got it.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know what's happened with my. Okay.
Yeah.
Can anyone see? Okay. Okay. This is our slide one. Okay. This intercultural approach of research Asia groups comprised of Myanmar, Bangladesh, Philippines, Nepal, and Indonesia. Next slide, please. The methodology and approach, we have the same methodology. We are going to use dialogues with for instance, with the elderly, the indigenous leaders, and the discussion, as well as telling the stories. The approach, Asian are rich with body movements and gestures that imitate nature in dance. The methodology combined with body movement that imitate nature for stress relief, so that it activates memory stored in our bodies. This is the approach that we are going to use. Myanmar, traditional dance. Can you play the YouTube, Naina?
Yeah. Maybe I need to copy.
For Myanmar? For Myanmar.
Did you see this?
Yeah. Thank you. This is the approach that we are going to use by Mimin. With the dance and the singing like this, as you can see on the screen. So they are going to sing a song. I don't know where is the voice, yeah. I think it will be like this, yeah, the dance like this, that approach by Mimin to her community. And then I think we can go for the next slide, Naina.
Now I need to stop this or
Uh,
Nukila, because we can see the image, but we can't hear.
oh, you can hear?
No,
We
I
can
think
hear.
no.
Well, I mean,
I think you need to open the sound.
Naina, maybe you have to, yeah, to stop first the PPT and then maybe focus on the YouTube.
I need to stop to play this video,
Yeah,
Nukila. Yeah.
yeah. No, stop the PPT and then play the YouTube,
Yeah.
right? The methodology will be used by Mimin from Myanmar. Stop share the PPT and we are focused on the traditional dance from Myanmar. You check mine.
Yeah. I need to play the video or I'm a little confused, Nukila.
Because we cannot hear the voice, just the picture.
Oh,
Oh, no voice, no sounds.
no sounds. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me do again, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Can you hear the voice now?
No
Still not.
voice. No voice.
No voice.
No.
Not voice and not image now.
No voice and no image.
No. But it's okay. We have the time to go slowly. It's okay because technology is not working today. Now we have the image, but not the sound.
Not the sound, Nana.
No.
Nos comparten el link y lo proyectamos.
If you can share the link and we'll project it. If you can share the link with us on the chat, general chat for YouTube, and we'll make sure to project it.
And perhaps for him is
We can share to the groups so they can see our PPT, Nana. Or let me check my too. Oh, where is the? Okay, let me check. Oh, can I...
Teacher Angela, can they share with you and then see if from you we can get to hear the voice? Or they can share with the host so that we can see if we can hear it from you guys.
Oh yeah, Naina, can you copy it to the chat?
You cannot see my screen.
Can you copy it? I'll try from my side, yeah. Oh, it's so slow as well here. Okay, let me check. I have to check this one. Okay. 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 Check copy. B and pass. B and then YouTube. I need to check this.
¿Todas pueden ver?
Sí se ve, pero no se ve.
Đọc
Yeah, that's the performance, the approach that will be used by Mimin for approaching her community by dancing as well as by singing. And then can I, okay, next. Okay, I think I can share. The next is Philippine. The next is Philippine that will be conducted by Florence. This the ritual secretary. Florence will visit and to have purposive conversation with a secretary group. This is a site of ritual for fertility, but only for men perform the ritual that had its origin as tribal war ritual. In this time, women are protected to ensure child care and food supply. This is the secretary that Florence will be visited in her community. And then next is Bangladesh. Ananya will approach regarding will approach her community towards playing plum or flute. This is a musical instrument of the Mero Indigenous community living in Chittagong Hill tracts in Bangladesh. Plum was known a powerful and charming tune against epidemic chlorella at the time. The tune is not only the companion of happy times for the people, but this tune is able to change its characterization from time to time. I don't know if we can play this YouTube, but I think I would like to show. Maybe we can play later because the source is from Facebook. I think we will try in another time. I will share to the groups later the link. And then Nepal. Naina will approach with the singing traditional song. This song is famous to express everything: the pain, happiness, love, anger, and ancestor story, everything expressed through this song. Naina, can you play the YouTube? Thank you. This is from Nepal. The song from Indigenous Nepal.
Yeah, I'm trying to play on YouTube.
We could put in the chat also, Naina.
Yeah.
In the chat.
No hay traducción also in. Ay, qué pena.
Give me some time. I'm trying to play this video.
I'll stop share ya.
Yeah, I stop shared.
No, ahorita no se puede.
¿Por qué o not? Let's stop share.
Can you see this video?
Yes, yes. But no sounds. No sounds, Naina.
No sound?
Yeah. Maybe you can share in the chat.
Yeah, I'll share this video in chat.
You can share in the in the chat. Because we cannot hear the sounds.
Can you just copy the link in the chat so that the back office can put it on the presentation over here? Yeah. Now maybe doing it or one of the guys can do it.
Can anyone share
Yes.
this video? Maybe I have some problem today.
Give a chance to the team to upload it so they have the access to the audio.
La hora de sonreír, la hora de hay que cepillar.
Time to smile. Great.
Bolero. Ingat sasi deh, ingat ingat. Ingat saat meeting. Hal hal.
China, can you explain as well?
Sure, I'll share that screen now.
It's over? Okay. So,
Oh, let me open that PPT.
no, I can do that. Oh, okay. It's okay. Okay.
Mm,
Okay, next.
with maybe in
Now, after previously.
yeah, okay,
Previously.
yeah. Next.
Yeah, this one is a Nepalese indigenous woman. And next is, this is Indonesia. I would like to approach with the dance and singing called Lancang Kuning or the Yellow Boat. This is a story regarding a boat as a symbol of resistance to the waves and the storms while at the sea. And for the sea people in Riau Islands, where I come from. But more than that, the yellow lancang, or the yellow boat sing or dance was the boat used by the leaders at the time when going to war against the invaders. I would like to share maybe on the chat. Somebody can help me with the YouTube. So the dance and singing conducted by all the women. They wear yellow colors as a symbol of the gold, a symbol of the gold. Is it easy to play?
Yeah. Nukila, I need to, yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can play half and then half minutes, 5, maybe 3 minutes. Yellow boat dance.
Lancang kuning, lancang kuning berlayar malam, hai berlayar malam. Hai lancang kuning berlayar malam, lancang kuning berlayar malam.
Maybe the connection.
lancang kuning berlayar malam, lancang kuning berlayar malam, lancang kuning berlayar malam, berlayar malam, lancang kuning berlayar malam, berlayar malam, haluan menuju lautan dalam, haluan menuju lautan dalam. Kalau nahoda kuranglah faham, kuranglah faham. Kalau nahoda kuranglah faham, kuranglah faham. Alamatlah kapal akan tenggelam. Alamat kapal akan tenggelam. Lancang kuning berlayar malam, lancang kuning berlayar malam, lancang kuning berlayar malam, lancang kuning berlayar lancang kuning menerjang badai, menerjang badai. Lancang kuning menerjang badai, menerjang badai. Di tengah laut menuju pantai. Di tengah laut, aduhai sayang, menuju pantai. Kalau berkayuh, hendaklah pandai, hendaklah pandai. Kalau berkayuh, hendaklah pandai, hendaklah pandai. Agar selamat sampai seberang. Agar selamat, aduhai Tuhan, sampai seberang. Lancang kuning berlayar malam, 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 lancang kuning.
Yeah, that was the dance and the dancing or the singing from my area, my region, Lancang Kuning, and the last of the PPT, the last slide will be where is mine? The last PPT we would like to conclude. Please, thus, we would like to conclude that Indigenous women are powerful, with their struggling with arts and culture. That's our end of the presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Nukila, Anai, Mimint, Doman, for your incredible presentation. If it's possible to, for example, to share the presentation in the WhatsApp for everybody.
Yes, sure.
Oh, okay.
Nana.
Thank you. I don't know if perhaps somebody have a question or comment about this amazing presentation and the challenge, no? To talk about violence against Indigenous women using traditional dance and music. Somebody want to comment?
Or maybe my friends would like to add.
Okay, go on.
Ananya or Florence, Domain? Mimin? Because maybe I missed some explanation, so they can add it. Or if you have any
Yeah.
questions, please.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, yes. Hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Yeah. For I'll just add on what on the tree. As mentioned by Nokila, it's men who are doing the rituals now, which so there's separation, no? I still don't understand where the separation happened, but I think it's the war culture. So in my research, I would like to bring out the voice and the role of women in peace and healing. And so, but of course, we have to ask permission from the ritual leaders who are mostly men. And we're not going there during the rituals. We're going there like off the rituals because it's not allowed to go there during rituals for women. For just for women to try to reflect, no? And because the rituals there are for fertility, so how come the women do not actually have a voice? No? So try to reconnect. I mean, it's okay for only men doing it, but there seems to be separation now. Like women do not have a voice in what's happening. It's just like performing, no? And then so there's I don't see the decision making and the political power there. So I think it would be an opportunity to sit there, connect with the land, be there in the site, and then activate the discussion on the role of women. Try to remember, no? Mm. So that's the point of yeah using the sacred tree grove. Thank you.
Okay, it's a sort of revolution, no? As a methodology. Very, very, you are taking care because as you talk, no? You talk with this sweetie voice, but at the same time, it's a revolutionary methodology. You are so, so smart. Okay, okay. And how is the negotiation with the man actually for you?
Yeah, I think the negotiation would be kind of how do we actually the question is I think mm, the buy-in would be the conservation of the site, which of course the men would be happy because it's their. But then, yeah, so like women would like to be active in the conservation. So indeed, very sweet indeed, since it's nature. So not much structure, no hierarchy and all. But I think the process of reflecting and the dialogue itself, that the women are saying we would like to participate in. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. And I am thinking, for example, Mimint, no? And Nukila and Anaya is the same deal, no? How do you will to connect the traditional dance and songs with your question? Because you have a huge questions, no? How are you thinking about the connection? I was thinking, for example, in the case of Mimi, no, she's talking about divorce. And when we are when as I thinking the traditional dance is like I saw couples, no? Couples everywhere. And how do you want to use this traditional dancing practice, cultural practice, to talk about divorce, no? Or Anai, no? And Nukila. What do you think? Or is like Doman, no? Doman is saying we want to use the big agenda of environmental justice and the defense of nature to talk about a specific agenda, no? To promote political participation of indigenous women. In your case, how is working the negotiation with the agenda of the community and your agenda as indigenous women?
Okay, I would like to start because before Mimin and Naina, the dancing and the singing that I would like to approach to my community, because this lancang kuning or yellow boat singing and dancing tells about the story of the sea people. They're sailing over the sea, courage. That can it used to be for the women and men. Now the roles are changing. I don't know because of what. The changing the sailing mostly a symbol of the male dominance. So by singing this lancang kuning or yellow boat song or dancing, I would like to remind them during the spare time, after, to, I think it's better to have this song, yeah, because every indigenous people in my indigenous community really recognize this song. It is about the song of the bravery, right? Sailing by boat by men and women. So encourage them also to have words to say, to speak up, yeah, to speak up and telling the stories, and then about about to remind them, yeah, to reflect something. I think it's better because it's also healing, yeah, listening and dancing with them as well. I think that's the approach. So while dancing and singing, so we have we can get some information from them as well, to reflect, yeah, to reflect, to reinventing, how do you call that one, to invite their memories, and also to make them happy. While they're happy, I think they can speak anything, right? I think that's the approach that I would like to use, yeah, the by arts and by cultures, yeah, towards this song answer.
Okay, okay. You are so smart too. When we are happy, we can talk about everything, about the access of land. A good methodology, no? A good methodology. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. I don't know, Naina, do you want to share with the group before the next group?
Yeah, I want to share. In our culture, women are dominated, and so they cannot raise their voice directly, so that they sing a song with this emotion, with their expression, their feelings, and everything. They use this a song as to express um, their things, because they cannot express directly with their voice, because they are suppressed and they are dominated. But last time I shared my presentation at the group, and at the time I realized women are not only suppressed, they have this quality. And after that, I saw a different perspective, and I hear some story from my mother-in-law. She's in 80 years now, and at that time, women are more powerful and they control the household and everything. But now they copied from other culture, so women are dominated gradually, and they are suppressed now. They cannot raise their voice, and they are suppressed, and they also limited in a household to work. Uh, yeah, and I use this method because they cannot say directly to their feelings. By the through the song, they express their feelings. So I use this methodology for my research. Yeah, they're happy to share by song. Yeah,
Hey.
thank you.
Oh, yes, it's so interesting. Happiness and research, no? Happiness, emotion, and research, participation, to talk about taboos using cultural practices. Oh, I am afraid because you are so smart. Asian group is oh yo, poor man, poor man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Who wants to continue? Fatima, after the rain stops. Okay. Sorry. It is okay if the African representative should continue, because Fatima I want to continue now. Is okay? Yes, Nai, Daisy, Fatima. Oh, I think it's too late. No. Yes. Fatima, are you here? Night, Vivian, Daisy. Are you ready?
Teacher Angela,
Yes.
let me ask Vivian here, then you will come back. Maybe another group can proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Liz, buenos días. Jessie, Jenny Lynn. ¿Estarían ustedes listas? Mientras que las compañeras de África.
All right,
Sí.
we'll let Latin America come in first then.
Disculpe, bueno, buenos días a todos. Es que hace rato no estaba todo. Pero no me queda muy claro en sí que es, cómo va la sesión ahorita.
Okay.
Tenemos que volver a presentarnos.
I'm still not sure about, are we doing the exercise that we did last time and when we closed our last session, or is this a specific question that we're responding? I'm lost.
No te preocupes.
I don't know what we're doing.
Tenía una propuesta.
I had a proposal.
Como ustedes ya habían hecho esta tarea al final de la sesión pasada, ¿sí? Se me ocurría que podíamos experimentar aplicándola.
Since you had already done that in the last session, I thought that maybe you could experiment. We could experiment by you doing that with us in this session. Maybe you can select one of the parts, and let's imagine that we have 30 minutes so that we can be that learning community with which you can rehearse. What do you think? Is that good? Is that better or worse? Did I confuse you more? Meaning you have your structure, you have it since Tuesday, okay? So I would like to kind of get you out of that structure and have an experience. So let's imagine that you're in your community today and that you could propose one of the parts of the activity to apply it here, not theoretically, but doing it. Okay? Which is the most complex part. It's the great part. It would be with all of the sisters. Do 3 groups. So we could do the 3 groups together, right? Yes, however you want. You are the ones who are telling the community of the learning community, which is in this case it's us, how we're going to do it, because it's better to rehearse here because we're in a safe space. Okay? We can enjoy, all of us, we can all enjoy the challenge. We imagine an activity, and when we apply it, sometimes we can't apply it how we want it to. Sometimes it's even better than we thought it would be. Generally, it's usually better than what we thought it was going to be because our minds is always like the reality always exceeds our expectations. Do you want to do that, Jessie, Jenny Lynn, Liz? Yes, of course. As you see, as you know, you're super prepared with this activity. What we would like is to enjoy it here so that all the sisters can experience it with you, okay? Okay. Initially, our activity, well, good morning. The activity today that we're going to do together is to identify through a picture what has been our perception in regards to the evolution that flow of the river has had since previous years, from the knowledge that we have and from the memories that we have, and to identify what connection that we have with any body of water in our territory, to be able to see what is that connection that we have and how it has evolved throughout this time. I think that here on Zoom, we have a tool where you can like draw. So we could do it that way, since it's the drawing that we're going to have. We're going to say that the base is going to be like our body, and based off of that,
No sé si lo hacemos de manera grupal.
I don't know if we do it in a group way so that we don't divide the groups, but we had said that it was going to be 4 groups, but maybe we could do 3. So in each group, with each group, we're going to do one drawing together, and we're all going to place our ideas and these elements and what they represent. So the first one we're going to make is drawing in that body, which is all of us in our area in Latin America, Asia, and Africa. representing that situation that that tells us what was the river like, or that body of water in our territory, what was it like 30 years ago? Was it beautiful before? In the 30 years, there was a lot. 30 years ago, there was a lot of water, maybe not anymore. So what does that represent, and what does that make us feel? And do that in the drawing, and we could, get it to do it together. That's the first one, to do the first. Once we have that first drawing, we can move to the current context of how do we feel on how the river looks like today. Is it contaminated? Does it have little water? So do those two bodies. But that's the second. We're not going to represent it with the body, but we're going to represent it, we're going to draw it. In the land of Jesse, we call it chichapal. Here, we call it mucura. So that's where water is saved. So in that mucura, we're going to draw it in big. And each person is going to be placing what it transmits. I don't know how to do it on Zoom, but I've seen it. I think it's here in the. Let me see. Did you did understand what the activity that we're going to do is? Do you have any question or suggestion that we could add as well? It's welcome, obviously. How do we draw? I don't know. Does anybody know how to draw here on Zoom, or how I could do that? Because I want to do the first, the kind of the silhouette of a woman. Anybody know how to do that on Zoom? I see that everything is moving. Can you take it out and put it again, please? Oh, okay.
Bueno, entonces este dibujo.
Okay, so this drawing, I'm going to give Naina the honor to help us make the figures or the sketch of the woman that we would be, that would represent us all, and there we're all going to write. Do you agree, Naina? It's not working correctly. I suggest that we check it in the next session to see what's going on. Can we continue with another activity? Okay. Well, in that case.
Okay.
Jeneline, and this is real life. That's how it is. You get there with your activity, everything's planned, and it's not working. So don't worry about it. It's fine. Depends on how you react and make something up along the way, another way of doing it. Okay? Maybe we could grab some sheets from a paper and draw it, and then we can share it on our screens, maybe? Does that sound good? Did anybody say something? I'm sorry. Was it my network? I heard that Lise was speaking, but I don't know what she said. Yes, I was saying that maybe we can all write it down in our piece of paper and then we can share it on the screen
Ahora
or the camera.
pueden intentar editar el.
Can you try to edit?
Parece que todas nos podemos mover, pero no podemos pintar, ¿no?
I think we can all move, but we can't color.
We can move, but we can draw.
Sigue sin permitir, ¿verdad?
Sí, sigue
We're
sin
not
permitir.
allowing, correct? Yeah, that's correct.
Pero no podemos.
We can move, but we can't
Sí,
paint.
bueno, sí, continuamos mejor.
If we can maybe continue then. Thank you so much for trying. I appreciate it.
Ok, entonces podrías, Janilin,
Okay, Janine, can you repeat the instruction for the work in the sheets of paper? So in this first part, we're going to write or represent how the situation of our body of water in our territory, what did it look like 30 years ago? If we don't, how do we, if we're not over 30, how do we imagine it looked like?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, nobody's speaking, which is why there's no translation. We're supposed to be drawing,
Yes,
which is why
we
we're
can't
supposed
hear
to be
anything.
drawing. We're nobody's speaking, Mama. Nobody's speaking.
Oh.
Writing and drawing. Do you hear the question of Jenny Lynn?
Did you hear the question of Jenny Ling? She said that we're supposed to draw the river
No,
or
no,
the
no.
body of water in our territory. The question was, we're supposed to draw.
La orientación.
Sí, claro que sí. Bueno, la actividad que estamos
Well, the activity that we are carrying out is initially to make a drawing of your territory. So the objective is that, in general, is to identify through a drawing the perception that we have according to the evolution and connection that we have with the river or the body of water in our territory. So we, within that drawing, we will be able to represent or draw what is that perception that we have with that body of water, with that river, or that body of water that we have in our territory, and see what it was like 30 years ago. That's the general objective. We're going to talk about the body of water that you have in your territory, what is the evolution that it's had, and what is the connection that we have with it. And for that purpose, the work that we're doing is we are drawing, we're going to do 3 groups or 3 sessions. In the first group, we are going to represent through a silhouette of a woman, or how we represent ourselves, and within it, we're going to draw or write or represent of how the river was, what the river was like 30 years ago, or whether it's the river or the lake or the ocean, everything that, whatever body of water we have, how you imagine it was like 30 years ago. So initially we were going to do it on screen, however, it wasn't working. The board wasn't working, so we are all doing it in our own sheet of paper, and each one of you is going to share it. Because the idea is that in one silhouette of a woman, we've had the perception together, but here we're going to do it, we're going to adjust it because we can't do it online. That's the activity that we're doing right now. That's why there's no speaking.
Thank you.
Welcome.
¿Pueden intentar ahora?
Aparece en blanco, ya déjeme mirar.
Aparece la herramienta de dibujo del lado izquierdo. Ah, ok. Ahí está.
Sí, ahora sí, mira.
Sí, ahora sí, ahora sí. Intentemos si todas pudiesen escribir.
Let's try to use the tool online so that we can all draw together.
Ah, sí, ahí está.
Ah, there, it's working. Wonderful.
No sé si te parece, Jenny, como
Oh
ves,
no, Jenny.
si presentamos la primera
Present
parte
this first part
lo que se hace en el grupo 1, lo
of
que ya
what's being
hicimos en
done
el
in group
en
one that
el
we already did in
2, ocupamos la pizarra que veo que
the
está,
paper.
que estás
We present
usando.
what we already did in the paper, then we do that the board for the other activity. Okay, so we're going to move with the first one. Just can start so that I can write things down.
Bueno, entonces comparto lo que
So I'm going to share what I drew of the first part in my notebook.
Bueno, en la primera parte
Okay, so the first part,
como representar
it's like representing through our body, the body of women, and what the river looked like. Yes, what it looked like 30 years ago. And well, here I drew a woman looking to the side. That's her head.
y la cabeza también es como una montaña.
And the head is also a mountain that through which the river flows, which is the hair, her hair of the woman.
Y pues vemos
And we see that in the river,
hay pues abundancia,
there's
¿no? Es un río
abundance. It's a clean river.
peces,
There's a lot of fish, a lot of trees around it.
entonces pues yo así
So that's how I imagine that it, like the river looked like, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 years ago. There was a lot of abundance.
estaba sobre todo limpio,
And
muchos más
there
árboles
was a lot more trees that we have than we can see now. So that's what I imagine we had.
Gracias, Jessie.
Thank you, Jessie.
Duman.
Duman?
Yeah. Yeah, I would just like to show my drawing. I hope. Oh no. But it's almost the same. It's similar image. Eh? Yeah. Like that. And the hair is like waterfalls, and there are trees and the rice fields. So very I'm so happy with the alignment and resonance. Yeah. It's like a hair. Yeah.
Y súper genial, sí.
That's
Qué bueno.
amazing. Yes, that's so good. Thank you. Naina? Naina?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I want to share my picture, but I'm very weak in drawing pictures, so I just want to share this. Yeah, can you see this? Yeah,
Sí,
I draw
ahí se
this.
ve mejor.
Yeah, there is one big pound of the river. So this is a face. Then I also make same here is a river like this. From this top of the pond. And yeah, at the time there is lots of forest and yeah, green area, but now there is no river. Yeah, it's a dry place now. And at the time, maybe they plant rice and other yeah, but there is a dry land nowadays. There's nothing, there is no green area, there is nothing, this is just a dry place. Yeah. This is just a imagination, and my mother told me that story at her time. She saw that river, they use this river for plantation and other vegetable growth, but now there's nothing. This is just a story. Yeah, thank you.
Gracias, Naina.
Thank you, Naina. That's
Vamos con
beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Vivian.
Vivian?
Thank you.
So mine is also similar with the one Yesi and Naina shared. I don't know, can you see?
No, no se ve. A ver.
No, not really. We can't really see it on screen.
Okay,
I think there's
maybe
a lot of light.
maybe I can just explain.
Tal vez puedo explicarlo.
So my river
Entonces,
my river is very big and with a lot of diversity inside. There are a lot of organisms. We have different vegetation around the riparian area. There are birds on top of the trees. We have vegetation cover. There is little agricultural activities around. Yes. And the water is very clear, very safe. The quality is high. Yes, and now it is the opposite. We've lost so many rivers. People are planting around the river. There's lots of those aquatic organisms which live in the water. Yes, and there's a lot of settlement around. There's a lot of waste which is being released into the water, so compromising the water quality. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Mil gracias, Philip. Me encanta, súper.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. For me, I can share. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Sí, sí se ve, Nay.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. I'm not that good in drawing, so let me first declare that. Here, you can see there is a picture of a woman. Here there is a picture, and then there is a line here going this way, and then there is a line this way. It was a river, but later on, it's no longer there. But on this side, I've also taken a picture of a woman. You can see she's healthy, very beautiful. Just take it in your mind that she's beautiful, despite the picture. Beautiful, healthy, like the way you can see here, this forest, the way it is healthy and has a very good source of a river in it. So what I've shown here, I've shown two significant two things. Previously, we have a lot of rivers in our areas, which were highly protected and it was surrounded by dense forest and everything. But later on, because of different encroachment, eviction, and also not appreciating the community around who have been protecting and have significance or identity on those forests, have their traditional knowledge of protecting it, it ended to be this way. So I have portrayed a picture of a woman wearing a torn cloth. If you could see, you can see tears down. She's just rough. The way we have done to that river and done to the forest that was protecting the river. But here you can see a smart woman, very beautiful, well presented, the way this river is in the forest. So I've just used that to portray two different things. Thank you.
Súper nice. Nice nos adelantó y nos hizo todo el contexto del siguiente grupo, pero súper, me encanta que nos haya dado un
That's
poco todo ese
beautiful. Thank you. I love that you can give us that kind of that walkthrough of the before and after of the condition of the river. Thank you so much. Dicey?
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, my network will be shaky. I'm traveling. I've managed to get a piece of paper. Let me just flip my camera. I hope everyone can see. So this is my land, and the upper part of the picture, as you can see, this is before. The land had a lot of trees. As you can see, humans are here. Then we have cattle. And this is a very big river. As you can see, I've named it Chesra River. We are told that it had a lot of water. People used to depend on it, livelihoods, everything was okay. But after the ecosystem was destroyed, which is where we are living now, one thing I forgot is, as you can see, these lines I have drawn here shows the cover of the soil and the grass. It was much there. And after that, the encroachment, after people cut down trees, after people had greed of like farming, people cut down trees to sell timber and all that. This is how our land looks just down here. We have very few trees. There's no cover soil. If you actually go there, I will share the pictures in the class. The trees, the roots are just outside. You see all the roots. As you can see, I used dotted lines to represent the river, which is now seasonal. We can't even say it's seasonal. It only flows like right now when it's raining, and it has flash floods. So it's a very dangerous river right now. People can't depend on it. We cannot graze our cows and goats along it again. As you can see, it's only one person down in the picture because there's no one depending on the river again, except a few people who are now even destroying it further. When it rains and the floods pass by, they go there and collect the sand. So that's the little I could. I hope my network was not that bad. Thank you.
Claro que sí, Daisy. Muchísimas gracias. Súper. Nukila.
Absolutely, Daisy. Thank you so much. Nukila?
No sé si nos escuchó Nukila o vamos con Fátima.
Nukila, did you hear us? Fatima?
Anaina.
Or Anaina? Anania, sorry?
Sí.
I can share my art. I hope you can see. This is my art. This is a mountain where we live, and I art a small tree house where we live actually, we call it Borang, and where we used to live 30 years ago. But right now, the development sector are making road in the mountain and cutting down the mountain. So we are now living in the plain land. And the sun, I make it colorful because in 30 years ago, our life is really colorful that time. But right now, the forests are cutting down because of the business purpose, and there are many development projects are working, and especially in resort hotel business. So mountains are cutting down, and we live there before we live in the mountain. Now we are living in the plain. This is the change how the time are in now the river is drying, and we have to wait for water in the rainy season because of they are cutting down the river, especially digging the river for the wood camp and others. So I make it. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Anami.
Thank you so much. I've been able to hear you all and see that we're all connected based on water, and we all see that change. That even though we're not over 30, we've seen that change in the rivers, specifically regarding pollution, and see how it's affecting us, it's affecting women. I like to see, even though we're in different territories, we are all in a very, water is very sacred to all of us. Beautiful to see your pictures. I would like that if we could take a picture and send it to the group so that we can do the exercise to see if we can grab the complete silhouette. And we can do the group even though we couldn't do the digital blackboard, even though now it's working, and we could do the second group. And it's through and we can write in a phrase or draw an element that represents what the situation, the current situation is of the river, and what connects me, and what it tells me based on my spiritual connection. What does the river give me? Does it give me tranquility or peace? And a lot, or when I'm in the river, I breathe in. So I would say maybe a heart. I would draw a heart, for example, within that clay pot we're going to draw. So each one of us is going to draw an element or write down a phrase of what is your connection with the river and the current situation that the river is in right now. I don't know if I was clear.
No, please, can we get more elaboration, please?
Sina.
Yes.
¿Nos podrían ayudar con la pizarra otra vez?
Can you help me with the whiteboard again, please? The activity that we just did, we already did the first part, which was like the first group was going to present to us how the river was 30 years ago, how we imagined that it to be. Now we're going to send that image to the group. So please take a picture of the group, of their picture, and send it to me, and I'll draw the whole thing with your different perspectives. And now we're going to do a second activity with a second session or a second phase of another drawing. And here the drawing is going to be based on a pottery clay. I don't know what you might call it in your area, but it's something done in ceramics and pottery, which is a place to put water in and keeps water cold as well. So it's made out of clay. And there, within that image, we're going to draw or represent either a word or a drawing of an element of the current situation of the river. How do we see the river current? And in that way, what is that thing that connects us spiritually with the river? So we represent that connection and that feeling that the river sends to us. It could be a drawing. It can be whatever you want to feel, however you want to represent it. Is that clear now? I don't know if somebody else would like to help me drawing the pottery clay here. I saw many pretty drawings around there. They like I can't draw, and your drawing was amazing. So also when it was working, somebody said a tree, and it was very pretty. So can somebody please draw the ceramic for me, the pottery? All right, thank you. Is it clear now? What we're going to be doing? Here we're going to draw a base. And there you're going to put a word that connects to you with the current situation of the river and or something that connects to you spiritually. And we can start writing now. Or keep drawing or whatever you feel like it. Put a word. How is the current situation of the river? And how would you connect with it spiritually? Either with a word or a phrase that you want to put there. So here we have this space where we would store water. Now let's fill it in with those words. Words that connect us with the current situation of the river, or words that we can use to express how we connect spiritually. It can either be a word, or you can actually put a drawing if you prefer as well. To represent how is the current situation of the river, or how you connect with it spiritually. Spanish, somebody wrote statness, or they erased it. There it is, statness. Besides feeling broken and dried up. In Spanish, somebody wrote stat.
Bueno, mientras las que faltan siguen,
Well, the rest of the people continue writing or drawing.
o las que ya han terminado, nos podemos ir.
For those are finished, we can start talking about this. What did you write? What we felt? So let's open up so that you can guys express yourselves. In Spanish, we have the words contamination, pollution, and violence. Dried up as well. Fatness.
Bueno, entonces iniciaría yo, entonces ya vamos dando paso a cada uno.
I'll start given. I think I said I drew a heart. Like I mentioned to you guys, there's a connection of love that the river sends me, that connection of love. But I also put a circle because based of that, because of the deviations that they made in the river, the water does not come with the same amount or with the same flow, especially to my territory. So the river is not always full, that like I saw it in the past in my area. So that I don't get that same feeling of love. I'm actually feeling sad because we don't have that abundance of water that we used to have in the past. That was in the territory and where we could go and take a shower in the river. So that's the connection that I felt and how I feel right now, currently, my current situation. Does somebody else want to participate? I wrote the small crack, like if it's cracked, because the river in Bogota, where I live, is actually currently dead. So, and also with canals, right, very polluted. And at the same time, I also put these women, which are the guardians of the water, of the spaces where they're wearing work. We're indigenous women, Afro women from the urban side, who are working, defending the river. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for your collaboration. Somebody else wants to participate? Duman?
Can I comment?
Yes, please go.
So for me, I can use
sorry.
the term degraded because the current situation of the rivers is that it has reduced in size. Also, there is a lot of contamination in it. And for me, I equate water with life-giving, healing, and energy. So I feel right now that provisioning of those spiritual aspect of the water is being compromised. Yes.
Can I share? Yeah. In our community, the current situation of the river is there is no water in river, just the river without water, just the stone and sand is there, and lots of people migrated from that area. Yeah, there's no green, there is a dry place. We also left our original place and settled in the city. There is a little less house and 1 in 2 household only settled in that area because there is a scarcity of the water. Yeah, at the time, people worship the river. They offer the fruits and vegetable and other things to the river, but now there is nothing. There's no connection with the river. Yeah, this is the current situation of the river in our community. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Nay. Qué triste esa situación también que en su mayoría estamos viviendo con nuestros cuerpos de
Thank you
agua.
for sharing. I know this feels so sad to listen to all of you and how you're expressing all the situation, your current situation for each one of your contexts. It's sad to hear. So, man, do you want to participate? I think you're muted. I think you were trying to speak, but
Yeah. Yes, I feel sad and in grief that I think we feel we feel it in our bodies when we are sad, when the river is drying up. It's like our spirit also is drying up. Mm.
Okay. Philip, Vivian.
anyone else? Steve?
Sorry, can I say something?
Yes, please, go.
Yeah, for me, I took this with an example of a pot made by clay soil. The way we store drinking water so that it may be cool. When you drink, you feel that feeling, that drop down in your body when you have when you need to drink water. So that's how the river also is to us, because it's the source of water, but it's the source also of spiritual attachment of many of the indigenous communities. I'm saying that because if you go to a river, it's where we get very important things, like in my community, that are used in our sacred activity, in our important events. So if this spot, that is the whole river now, with the cool water that we drink. When it go down, you feel it. When it is broken, it does not have any other maintenance. It breaks down and the river dies. And if it dies, even the spiritual part of us dies. And the main significance that I have as an indigenous woman or as a Maasai who relies on different spiritual or ritual sacred activity along the rivers dies with it. So I took that example on how to show the importance of anything that is around us, despite other not knowing the mutual relations that we have and all attached to it. Thank you.
Gracias. Gracias. Daisy.
Daisy, you want to participate as well?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm traveling. I can't on my video. As I showed you in my presentation, that is Tetra River. It was actually the biggest river in my community. The other one is a bit far. That is where we used to, our cattle and everything used to feed there, like get water from the river. And the whole community used to fetch water there. So the community was very okay. We had, what we always believe in my community is our ancestors dwell in the rivers and in the mountains. So we always believed when it's at night, you would actually hear them at the rivers. You could hear like goats and all that. And that's what we believed. We are safe as a community. And right now what happened is there's a video I shared to the WhatsApp group. That is actually the current state of the river. After all that happened, people started harvesting sand and people cut down trees. Actually, like people are farming until 1 meter from the river. So the river dried out. People don't have water right now. There are no place that our cattle can get water from. So we have to walk distances to other villages where there are rivers, or we have to get to the hills. We've tried to talk to the governments to come and dig us boreholes, but they cannot reach to the water pans because like it's so dry. There are no trees, there are no soil cover. So that's actually the current state of the river in our community, and that's the state that we are now. Women have to really walk for distances to get water, which is a big bother to us as Indigenous women because the men can do nothing. So that's actually what's really bothering us, and that's the state of water in my community. Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, Daisy.
Thank you very much, Daisy. Thank you for sharing that situation and the case and the effort that women must take to actually get that resource and the load that they have to carry and how important it is to mention that structure that will represent the conservation of water and how we can promote it. Okay, Nukila, you want to also participate?
Aquí Nay, pero Nayli.
Nayeli, do you want to say something? I see a hand being raised. Who wants to participate?
Yes, I wanted to share something. First of all, I'm excited that we are sharing different aspects in regards to rivers. I wanted just to say something. We have a river here in Tanzania, in one of the village in the indigenous communities that died but was revived back through the indigenous knowledge. How did it happen? It's because of the women cry women motive and women demand from the local authority to be handled back the river to the community in order to use their own indigenous knowledge to revive back the river after a number of attempts done by the local authority but never came into revival of it. I wanted to share that because we may be thinking that only other aspects outside our own regulative or mechanism as indigenous communities and women, regardless of the communities patriarchic system we have, but still women have different position and ways to enable the community come together and revive back different issues that even burn them and bring solution. Like that river, it's known as River Terrat. I'll share a link and you can see how the system was done through their own indigenous knowledge. And today it's back to life. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Nay. Qué interesante y también
Very interesting to hear that and very motivating as well. And to think about how women, through their knowledge, can manage to implement solutions from their own service, from their own knowledge and traditional ancestral knowledge, and save the river. In many territories, we've seen that crisis on water, access to water, and it's sometimes, many times, we focus so much on losing the balance, and when we see the bad things that are happening, when we have no water, vegetation dying, without the species that used to be around it, and many times that clouds our thoughts in terms of the strength that we need to go to tap into that knowledge, ancestral knowledge as well, to find those, to establish those connections, and how we can be in group, find that connection, and find that balance and generate that, and we forget a bit about that identity that we have as women and the connection that we have to the river. And it's very nice if we could all share, if you can share those videos that you mentioned, because it's a way to motivate us as well, and seeing how other women can also, from our own knowledge, contribute to that salvation of the rivers. I want to thank you all for sharing this perspective from your feeling. What is the connection you have with water and the issues, the many issues that you face currently? I feel that in general, we can think that we all have water. We know that our body is made out of water. And I love how we can see the women, the incidents that women has, and how you see it 30 years ago, and how you present it through the body. And you can also see from how you see it currently as well, and how women have an impact about not only with from the hair, the beautiful hair, but also how it has been affected with all the contamination that we've faced in the different places, with rivers being dried up, and see the strength and beauty that we saw 30 years ago, how we can, with our traditional knowledge, continue to impact and contributing. So we're thinking that that the objective of this exercise was done, was I think that we even went beyond, because I think that we put also not limiting, but very emphatic with the words. we only use one word to create that connection, and we made it possible to reach other topics because of your insight as well. So we thank you all for your participation, and that's part of the appreciation and conclusion up to this exercise of seeing the connection that we have and how the river has been changing through each of the territories. Thank you very much. For the rest of the peers are going to continue contributing something else of the conclusions and reflection as well. And if anybody else wants to jump in and give your thoughts, what was your reflection? What are your thoughts on this exercise? You can actually go ahead. And thank you all of you for sharing your experiences and your feelings in this exercise. And two things that come to my mind are the river serves a connection with the ancestors and spiritual as well, a very strong connection with our life, with our body, with our being. And it's very impressive to see, we do the reflection from the perspective, economic perspective, capitalist, where water is seen as a resource and also named as a hydric resource. But for us as women and members of indigenous towns, for us, it represents much more than just that. It represents spirituality, strength, persistence. It's also the guardian of our towns, of our cultures, and it's also a way to represent the blood itself in our planet, in ourselves. And in that sense, I feel that the vision is the feeling of us as members of these communities. It's also that it's very important to see how we feel and perceive water as a living being, a higher living being that is present in everywhere, in all the spaces of life. And also the other aspect that caught my attention, based on your comments, is that although we're in different continents and we're all very different, very far apart each other, we all share the same issues in terms of similar issues. Talking about pollution, scarcity of water, and the spaces where water comes from. So it's very concerning because water represents everything. Water is life, and to know that we're all facing these issues wherever we are is concerning, and it casts us sadness and concern, and also that we know it's also important to know that we're just not crossing our arms. We're all finding that strength, looking for that knowledge from within and with our surroundings and our culture to be able to do something, and to find a river to have that vitality that it had in the past. And we're also seeing we're not going to be helping the water, but we're also going to be helping ourselves and the whole population as well, and the whole Mother Earth as well. So we thank you all your comments and your experiences. I also want to share that after listening to all of you, and see as well how our peers, Jesse mentioned, water is a living being. And it makes me understand that water speaks to us. From wherever we are, it speaks to us. And then water is clean and it's healing. And then when you water, it helps. And now as time goes by, we have to take care of it and we have to boil it to actually be able to drink it. And see how water tell us how it is, and it's speaking to us, and it's also sending messages to our body, and we all live through water. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We have some minutes to have some feedback for the sisters, see how they felt, them, but also how did we feel as participants. So let's, I had some questions. For example, how did you feel, Janiline, that you were kind of moderating and coordinating the session, and Jesse and Liz that were designing that also designed the activity and were supporting? How did you feel? This is mine. Sometimes I feel like it's hard. To me, it's hard to imagine how do I get participation. Sometimes silence when nobody wants to participate are a little stressful. When I feel uncomfortable, I say, oh, what do I do? What do I do so people participate? So those beginnings that sometimes are difficult for me, I wanted to ask you, how did you feel? How did you live that? How did you feel with that? And as a participant, I felt I really liked the activity. I thought it was very beautiful. The 2 moments of the exercise were very beautiful. I'm very tired today. I feel like it's been a very strong injection of energy. I felt that I was I feel like I got revitalized by listening, by reading, by writing, by drawing. I think today the fruit of this encounter are very important materials. The drawings that we all shared in the chat, and the collective cartography that was generated, that coming and going of the individual to the community aspect. Meaning that if you guys could write, if you wanted to write a chapter, you have wonderful material from 3 continents here. So it was a very powerful methodology, and I imagine what it would be like in person. I also wanted to ask you, how did you feel with the virtuality aspect or the virtual aspect of it, and having you guys be not just thinking individually in your project, but as a group, and thinking about it for 3 different continents, 3 women from 3 different continents. So ask you how you felt with all that. That was what I wanted to kind of bring to the table. Well, I want to share a little bit how I felt. I think at the beginning, I said, okay, perfect. We're going to organize the activity. We had already done the methodological part, but as you said, one thing is to organize it from theory, and another one is from the practical perspective. We hadn't really imagined it in person, so changing the format changed everything. So it was a little frustrating because I said, oh my god, the idea that I have is the virtual Blackboard, but if it doesn't work, I said, what do I do? And I know there's some little programs. Okay, let's look for a program right now. It's too much, so everybody can participate, that they don't get bored, or see what happens.
Esa preocupación y esa ansiedad.
It's also that concern and that anxiety, that what are they thinking, the participants thinking, because I understand that sometimes the translation, the interpretation, also the idea isn't transmitted perfectly. And was my idea really relayed like I wanted it to. They not understand it? So that anxiety that you have when you're not completely comfortable with your surroundings, and make sure that the message was really relayed, the activity was really understood, because sometimes it's hard for me to express what I'm thinking.
De lo que estoy tratando de decir, porque me cuesta mucho
And
también.
sometimes I slow down because I try to be really mindful of what I'm saying, and if am I really giving the information that I want to give. So that was a challenge that I wanted to take on, because I'm going to start my process of field work. So the activity today is a socialization that I'm going to do with the community, but more than that, we're going to do a part of harmonization from our methodology. And I'm going to do it at night, because for us, the Wayu, to speak in the daylight or that our faces are seen is not very easy. So conversations flow better when you do it in the nighttime and you speak, because you can only hear. So you start hearing each other, and we're gonna do it around the fire. So all these days I've been imagining that everything's gonna be okay, that people will participate, that it's my family, but I'm gonna have another role before them, and that I've always been a member of the community, but normally when you do these types of activities, or or conversation and dialogue spaces, the people who direct it are the elders, my uncles, my aunts. Those are the ones who lead it, and I do have their support. But sometimes you get the anxiety that you want it to be a certain way, and I hope they really do understand. And I know that I want to make sure that they understand that this research is not just mine, that they need to be included and they need to be involved directly in the entire process. So to me, today has been a lot of anxiety. So I think that this has been a great moment to be able to experience this, to learn a little bit. What do I have to keep in mind? And listening to my sisters, how can we improve, is also very helpful. So the experience was actually very helpful, and that's how I felt. Oh, that's wonderful that you were able to do it with 3 continents. If you can do it here, you can do it in person. Okay, perfect. And that anxiety sometimes is normal to feel it. It's always there, I think, when you are working with a group. To let it exist. I don't know if it happens to you, but to me, the more I fight with my anxiety, the worse it gets, the larger it gets. So what I try to do is just to kind of relax, and it starts kind of settling. And I'm sure you're going to do really, really well. Okay, well, I don't know if anybody wants to share, because for Janiline, it's like a training.
Experience this night. Perhaps you should contribute something for her experience.
Me gustaría compartir.
Oh, sorry.
Doma.
Yeah, I think it was a very beautiful method, also very effective, I think. And it creates safe space, yes. And then it's not it generates, yeah, it generates feelings and thinking, both the process as well as the expression, but also it doesn't feel extractive, no? It's we own the process, we get to enjoy, we reflect on the process, but we don't just spit out the information, no? It's very participatory, at the same time empowering. Thank you.
Anybody else? Jesse, did you want to share? Yes. At the beginning, it took me a little bit by surprise, and I don't know, I was a little disorganized, but I think it's part of this experience. Sometimes, or a lot of times, we're going to start our work in the community, and we have everything in our head all thought out and understood and distributed, but in reality we find something different, or different situations and different contexts that sometimes go from the climate, transportation, the mood of people, what they're doing, their work. So I thought it was very beautiful what we did, because it's working on this and how we solve the things that happen as they happen. And I think that that's something that's going to happen a lot in our work. So congratulations. Thank you, Jenny. And we wish you the best in your activity today. Thank you to you all again. I appreciate it.
Súper. Sí, esa era la idea.
Yes, that was the idea.
Cogerlas desprevenidas.
Catch you off guard. Because life is like that.
La vida es así.
Life is like that.
Y no estaban desprovistas, al
And you
contrario.
were not disorganized. On the contrary, I think that techniques and methodologies are learned to forget them later, and to trust in your abilities, to the abilities that we have to work as things develop. I think you did a wonderful work, and it was a wonderful experience.
I don't know. Somebody want to share before the end of the session, because I forgot the break. Perhaps we can end 10 minutes before 11, but we have some minutes for Liz de pronto, or something else.
Maybe Liz or somebody else.
Can I say something?
Of course.
So for me, what I can say is today's class was very interactive. I enjoyed the presentation by the Asian group on how songs can be used differently to conduct research and to convey different messages on issues that are affecting Indigenous peoples. What I also liked is the teaching technique. It was very interactive, getting to draw the trend of the rivers was also amazing. I also got to know that water is important for all of us, Africa, Asia, Latin America. It's important for Indigenous people because it serves a critical role spiritually, economically, socially, among others, and that the trend has changed in a negative way. It is the rivers are being affected, they are being degraded, it's reducing in size, and that we all need to work together to restore our water ecosystem. So generally, I enjoyed today's lesson. It was amazing. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Vivian. And now, Nai, do you want to share?
Yes, Teacher Angela, I just have a question to you, but it's kind of very specific. I wanted to know in regards to our writings currently, should we share sometimes when you meet a point, can I share my work to you directly? Or you have a specific time to share with you? That's just a general question from me.
No, of
but
course.
In regards, yeah,
If you want, we can fix a meeting together.
Okay.
Okay? Of course. And
Thank you. Yeah, fine.
thank you to you. And now I am so excited because next session we have the presentation of Africa with a theoretical dimension and the practical and the experience. Okay? For the African group is like the dialogue between Asia and Latin America. Okay? It is okay for everybody?
Teacher, I didn't catch that clearly. Maybe you can repeat.
Okay, the next section, we will emphasize perhaps during the first hour, like today, in some contents of the session, and in the second part of the session, your group will implement your methodology, okay? With this group as the group of Latin America. If you want, you can have the first part of the session explaining the methodologies, the intercultural methodologies, as for example, Asian group. And in the second part, we are all yours. And you can train here with us. Yes? Because this is a safe space, as the man said, and we are here to enjoy and to learn together. Yes? Now is better, Vivian?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
got you, Teacher Angela. Thank you.
Thank you to you. Jenny Lynn, te va a ir súper bien. Cuando estés allá, te acuerdas de todas nosotras ahí.
Generally, you're going to do amazing. When you're there, just remember all of us and think we're with you. We're right there with you. You're going to do amazing today. Good luck. Thank you so much. Que tengan un...
Chao.
Ciao.
Gracias, hasta luego.
Thank